call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Hanson.
Here.
Glass.
Here.
Tucker.
Here.
Sheelight. Sherman. Fisher.
Here. Sorry.
Swallow. Here.
Approval of minutes from regular meeting held January 10th, 2024.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second. Roll call, please.
Tucker.
Yes.
Glass.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
Swallow. Yes.
Approval of minutes of special meeting held January 23rd, 2024.
Yeah.
Well, what was estimate number 1162, estimate 1163?
Those are the netting for the pods at baseball was one of them, and the netting for the pods at softball. They were two separate.
Okay, but it was for three?
No, it was for all of them.
For all of them?
Yeah. So 4 at softball, 4 at baseball is what he gave me the quote for.
I thought we talked about not doing, was that afterwards?
That was after.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 23rd.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Glass.
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Fisher.
Yes.
Swallow. Yes.
Discussion and action on financial statement from January 2024.
I tell you what's, you guys, we're still struggling with the accountant's trying to make sure we've got everything accounted for as far as the pool donations go and get the pool checking account squared away. It's taking a little longer than we'd hoped, so I would recommend table this. Long story short, we're doing okay. We're a little behind on revenue, but then we haven't had any ball tournaments lately, so that'll start changing. We'll start having some ball tournaments. That'll pick back up. Otherwise, we're sitting good as far as our cash flow goes. We're looking good on our investments. Today we did get the $150,000 from Washburn. Got that check today from Freedom West, so we'll get that put in the donations line as well. But all of our CDs are above 5%. Matter of fact, there's nothing below 5.25 except for the ICS account, which we're still, as you see, still made $11,000 interest off off that county of those at 4.32. So that's, so our investments are looking good. Like I said, we're just trying to sort through, figure out where all these donations are, who they're from, make sure they're all in the right account, and everything, so we get these financials squared away and have something ready for you in February. But that'd be my recommendation.
But I think the question was, Steve, on the donations to the pool, shows 502,250. Year to date, actual, as of the end of January, is that correct?
That's not, that's why I made myself a note
Okay.
here.
All right.
We've got,
Okay.
for instance, we need to see in the investments,
Okay,
we've got the $1 million plus there in the pool ICS account.
okay,
But for some reason, the accountants aren't putting it in here to show that we received it.
okay.
So once again, that's part of the, trying to get this whole thing straightened out so it all reflects reality.
I'll make a motion to table the January 24 financials.
Roll call, please.
Glass,
Yes?
Tucker,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Swallow. Yes.
Director's report.
A lot of the stuff I'll probably be reporting later, so I'll just kind of highlight. We did get through basketball. It was a great season. Soccer sign-ups deadline is Friday. Women's volleyball's going every week.
Is there youth volleyball?
There's a youth volleyball league that somebody started, and they made it work. I tried it before, and it didn't work, but they've made it work, and they're going to start playing on Saturdays out here in March, 1st of March. So, yeah.
What are the ages on the grades, or is
I
it?
think it's age. I think they went 9 to 14, maybe 10 to 14. I'm not sure. Do you know 10? Did you see
Close
that?
to that. I think it's age. I don't think it's my grade.
Yeah. So,
But if everybody wants a really good laugh on Wednesday night, I would encourage you to come out and watch Courtney Taylor's team. It's quite comical.
Volleyball?
Yeah.
don't recommend that.
It's great.
And our coach doesn't make us up.
Should we charge admission?
We should.
That's about all. I'll talk about that.
City council report.
We appointed Connor Martin to the Alva Hospital Authority, and we approved the long-range capital improvement plan, and on the 25th, then we approved repairing the water line break that was by that, and that's really about it. It's short and sweet.
We did, just add on that, we did get some bids in this week for the telemetry project, which we're going to probably go to city council and reject those bids because we got one bid and it was about double what we expected it to be, so we're going to go back out to bids. But we did get another bid to complete the rest of Locust Street from 9th to 11th. So the city's taking on 7th to 9th, and then we got another company going to come in to do 9th to 11th. So that whole thing should be done mid-spring. Get that night over with. So that's just some late breaking news that I have this week.
And if you haven't driven by the pool, it's kind of interesting to watch because now we've got flags
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure what they're for, or what they're gonna put there, but, you know, so they're moving. They're doing something.
Looked like they were surveying something down there. I'm not sure.
Good.
All right, discussion and action to recommend approval to the AEDA for the Alva Parks and Recreation Hatfield Park Aquatic Center alternate bids from Ascend Commercial Builders LLC as listed in the bidder's proposal.
So we do have all of the money for these alt bids that were specifically for these alt bids. So all of these alt bids can be approved if we wish to do so.
These are the ones we singled out last time.
Yeah, because at that time, we didn't have everything, yeah. I will let you know on C right there, you know, it's worded in here because that's how it's worded in the bid with the water cannons, but we are checking into those.
I got to gather on that
Oh, okay.
this afternoon.
Okay.
So on all bid 4, that's why I tried to call you to get those pictures you sent us to pass around. but, alt bid 4 includes, the flower water features, the bubblers, and the water cannons. So if we want to keep the little bubblers, which I think are probably good for some kids that like that feel of something bubbling up at their feet or something. And then the flowers, just little flower things, shoot the water. That's up to you guys. I know Courtney just despises the water cannons, and since you're the person to take them out after they're installed and sell them on eBay. But we can just go into that alt bid and just pull out the water cannons if we want to. He's got the pool company giving him a price on what it would cost just to pull the water cannons out. If that's the feature, if that's a piece of that we really don't want, or if we don't want any of it, we can pull.
You said the price is going to be a deduct though?
It will be. It'll be cheaper when we pull those water cannons out. It's not going to be a significant amount, but it'll be a cost savings. But like I said, if we can do it, we just have to tell them what we want to do. So if you guys want to approve alt bid AA number 4. Minus the water cannons, we can do that and leave basically that alt bid in place except for the water cannons. Or if you want to get rid of all of it, just completely disapprove alt bid 4, whatever you all want to do. That's the latest update on that.
Or if you want the water cannons, then you approve the water cannons.
And Courtney said you get to maintain them yourself.
If we approve the water cannons, just the language as it is, can those be removed at a later point still?
We can. So in your motion, you can just say, make a motion to approve alt bid A number 4 as written minus the water cannons. And that'll be good enough for us in the minutes to go back to the contract and say, get rid of the water cannons. So. But I think last time we got a good picture of the child's play structure. That also has the tippy bucket thing for water pouring out and stuff like that. So, let's see what else. The floatables, I think that's kind of.
Well, we were just talking about if we didn't have the money, we could add them on later.
Right.
But we have.
Yeah, the one was 150,000. That gives us the 1.06 million we needed for all of them.
Yeah. Because I think we were just looking at what we could add later, but now that we have all the money, we don't really have to wait till later to do.
So you can approve these separately. You can go down and approve number 4 separately, and then approve the rest of it as one motion. However you want to do it. So, if there's something else there you don't like, then just when you withdraw it. Like I said, you got the money now. Watch this donation.
I'd make the motion as Steve would have.
Second.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Glass,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Swafford.
Yes.
And that is with minus the water.
Everything's approved minus the water cannons on all 3 number 4.
All right, discussion and action regarding approval of possible solution for drainage issues for all ball fields related to the baseball/softball infield synthetic turf project.
Okay, so I was hoping to have some more answers today on what's going to happen with that. That's why I had them put that on there, but I don't. Still waiting. So in the original plan, it only had the drainage drain 10 feet out past the outfield fence. Well, once we did the site work out there and did all of the
Topographic.
Yes,
All
yeah.
the elevation.
All the elevations were a lot different, and the 10 foot past the outfield fence is not going to work. It'll just drain back into our outfields, and it'll cause us more problems later on. So they worked up a solution and got us some drawings. We are waiting. There were some questions that Kimley Horn had as far as how much water, if we went to one pipe, taking everything out, how much water would that be able to hold? So waiting to hear back. They sent it to an engineer to get some numbers and everything else. I talked to him today. He's hoping that he can have me numbers by the 1st of next week. I will say that with this drainage issue, the cost will go up on the drainage because it has to go further than 10 feet past the outfield fence.
It's on both sides, softball and baseball.
Yes, yeah. And I can print off, the sheets. In fact, I'll do that when you guys go to the next subject here. But, you can see the flow of the water and where it all goes. And, so we're trying to come up with a solution. We're gonna try to keep it, they're gonna try to keep it as low as they can, but I don't know what's gonna happen, this could affect the netting. It could, because we put that in there depending on how much money we had if we went ahead and did the netting. So until I get the drainage numbers, I'm not gonna be able to really say if it's gonna cost us
That's okay.
40,000
The
more.
name was passed contingent upon having the money, so
Yeah, so,
that's okay.
but once I get that, I'll forward all that out to you guys, but, I'll go in there in just a minute and print out those others of what they wanted to do, what they proposed us to do, before Kinley Horn asked them about maybe just doing one pipe out of each pod. So, that's where we're at on that.
So we'll table that.
Yes, we need to table that.
Or just, so if you table it, it means you gotta bring it back exactly as it is. If you so no action is action.
Okay.
So I would just not take any action on it and move to the next one. That way, if we do get a solution, I can change the word of it. If you table it, I gotta come back to the same exact wording. I would just take no action and move on to the next item. That's what I would do. That's our condition, you guys can do whatever you need to.
So if we just take no action, then we just move on to the next.
Move on to
No action taken. Okay, number 9, discussion regarding backstop netting at the NWOSU softball field.
Yeah, so on that, the questions come up to Courtney. Do we want to go to Northwestern and ask them to pay for their share of netting at their field?
I don't think we should put netting there until the press box issue is addressed, in my mind. Because it's gonna blow into that press box.
Rub holes in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my opinion, that Northwestern needs to do something, get that press box out of the way.
And that's kind of why I put this in there, it's just discussion, there's no action, I just wanted us to talk about, to give you some direction, so maybe we can say, all right, next meeting, we need to have Northwestern here to tell them what our feelings are, what we think they need to do, so we can do that. I just need some direction from the board to
It's no out at Woodward, it blows into those awnings at the Woodward.
The net does?
Yeah, rips holes, I just think we're just gonna have problems, ripping holes in the net if we put a net up there as it is right now.
So
In my opinion.
if we don't do netting on that field, we would just go back chain link.
Now, once again, right now, we're budgeted for all 8 fields. We're budgeted for their field too. But we can hold off on that field until we say, like Greg said, if we're going to tell them, hey, we're not going to let you put netting up there until you move that press box back. But by the way, you need to pay for your fair share of the netting too. I think that number is roughly $12,000 or something. It's not huge. But I think it's a discussion we need to have with Northwestern. So that they have buy-in on this thing. Like I said,
So you think you just move the press box back?
Well, what I like to see them do is like most softball fields are, there's bleachers behind there, and the press box is 6, 7, 8 rows above it and elevated. So it's not right there.
Similar to the high school.
Yeah, so exactly.
Chisholm's one I've been to that comes to mind. Right. They don't want to email it like that. Just get it back out of the way.
Shane, maybe you can't answer this from Northwestern, but do they plan on this being their home field for a long time or just a temporary
No
deal?
way to answer that. I really don't.
I've honestly never thought about it until we started doing all this stuff. I thought,
I have no way to answer
it
that.
seems like it would not be that great of a college field setting, and it'll be nice, but it's in a rec park, and it's like.
I kind of agree with Greg. If you were able to get those bleachers back and get that press box back like Chisholm, then I think it's a much nicer NCAA Division II softball field. Right now, it kind of looks kind of hodgepodge together, if you ask me, but,
There is one, or is there two?
You should have one of each.
Okay.
Two.
You get one, Matt?
I've got a whole pile there.
You didn't
wasn't
pass
sure
it
how-
on?
Well,
I don't think you have.
You should
I was handed them like this, so I just figured I was going to one of each, okay.
Yeah.
I should have put my glasses on, I couldn't see what I was grabbing.
like I said, for number 9, just let me know what y'all gonna do, we'll make it happen, but I, they come from places like questions or ideas, you have, they can bring
No,
them in,
that's
see
two
what
different.
you're gonna do, it's up to you all, try to get some guidance from the board.
So if we didn't do the net, if say Northwestern didn't want to pay to do the net right now, then would we as a board want to just go back with chain link for right now?
I think so, just leave the chain link there, it'll never come down. They'll just go, I mean, it's not gonna come off in the process of putting the turf in. They're gonna raise that bottom
He's gonna raise all the pipes,
pipes on the bottom.
so it won't have, like, you know how we talked about before, it's not gonna have the, help me out.
I'm sorry.
What did we say, the angle iron?
Oh.
He won't have the angle iron on it, so it'll be easy to take off. They will still move all the pipe, so that way the pipe won't be an issue with it.
You know, like they're gonna do it all the two.
Yeah, so you can take it off later at a later date and put netting out.
Without turning it
If
off.
Northwest wants to pay for their show, then great, but I agree with you, then we gotta recommend to them that move that concession, move that press box back, or you're gonna replace that net in just a couple of years, you know, I mean, you're exactly right, that wind will beat that
Yeah,
to death.
yeah. Just be ripping holes in it,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I've seen some that where the net just needs retightened every year, and if it is, it stays pretty firm. So if it's tightened every year, that might be part of the solution too, is build that into a budget line item of tightening nets or something. That
We're
might be
gonna have to
something
do that in all
to
things, I think, we're gonna have to do it on all of them, I mean, they just stretch over the,
over the winter, especially if we get ice on.
So when the wind doesn't blow out here, so the wind.
No, it never blows up.
so is that what you're gonna do, is for next meeting, just get Northwestern here to discuss this stuff?
I think it'd be good.
Okay.
If,
At least we could find out what their game plan is for the future.
Yeah.
and talk to them in whatever setting,
Sure.
whether it's here or over the phone, or whatever you guys, whatever works.
Yeah, we'll give plenty of heads up for next meeting, so we can plan ahead and be here.
And either way, it's not gonna affect what they have to do to the pipe, 'cause they've got to move the pipe anyway. So that's not gonna hold them up on any job, anything, so that's good too. Makes sense?
So if, no matter what happens here, doesn't delay,
No, no,
that's the last thing
yeah,
we want. for all.
That's the last thing, this is cosmetic, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There's no chain link. But it'd be nice if all you fields look the same, but if we don't, we don't. But I think certainly for an NCAA Division II field, netting would look a lot more professional. But that's, once again, we kind of put that ball in Northwestern's court, see what they do.
So that was gonna be, the netting, to make sure that that's gonna be paid for out of deduct money to begin with. So we're gonna ask Northwestern to pay for something that was already gonna be a deduct from.
And that becomes a question later on, is, okay, well, we've already got, basically, assuming we have the money set aside for all these fields, we've got the money to do it. If Northwestern comes back and says, oh, we just can't afford $12,000, then that's on the board to decide, well, we'll go ahead and do this for Northwestern anyway, knowing that not only is Northwestern playing on field, but our kids are playing on field as well. So at that point, it becomes the board's decision whether or not to go ahead and spend that money we already have set aside for it.
Later conversation.
Yeah, like I said, to me, this is trying to get Northwestern a little bit of buy-in on this.
and depending on the drainage, the whole netting thing may be viewed anyway.
And how much that costs.
Exactly. Get the mini X up there, start getting it.
Any other thoughts or discussion on number 9? All right, discussion and action to approve NW OSU's request to paint the dugouts on the NW OSU softball field black.
tin right now, correct, Courtney?
Mhm.
So that's the tin that came from the factory, and it wasn't painted.
Yeah.
And they just want to paint it black.
I don't like that, personally.
Yeah, what happens is first chipping,
Yeah.
now you have black and green.
Well, it's gonna be hit by foul balls and
Yeah.
Camouflage.
kids walking around and scratching it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
I would think it would be even hotter than they already are.
Now, we-
Yeah. I'm opposed to it. If they wanted to put tin on, that'd be a different discussion, but I still think black, it's hot enough in there with dark green.
I'd go back and buy some white tin and put it on there, make it a lot cooler. But,
Hindsight 10 would have been.
Tan would be nice. You picked your colors.
So do we need a motion to?
Yeah,
Motion
motion
on
on
that.
a motion whether to approve or disapprove the request to paint the dugouts black.
I'd make a motion to disapprove their request to paint black.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Glass,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
yes to disapprove. Hanson,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
Swallow.
Yes.
I know I'm kind of skipping, but if you guys look at these two that I just brought out to you, there's a blue circle out there on the south side of one of them. You see the blue circle? That is the softball side. Okay, so that paper is softball, and the other one is the baseball side.
So they're gonna dig a pond basically as their,
Well,
as they're already.
okay, so the red line, the red is where their pipe was going to extend to. 10 feet out from the outfield fence, okay? If you look at the softball one, so to speak, these blue lines on some of these are just ditches that will flow. Of course, the two north ones will flow around over to the little, over here by the walking trail, there's like a waterway right there by the walking trail, that's where that would go to. Now, the only pipe extension on this side, if I'm looking at this correctly, would be on the east side from about the playground, or a little behind that, out to where they're gonna connect to flow to that drainage. Is everybody seeing that?
So their proposal is to literally dig a ditch around this thing to direct water. I don't think it's going to be as rough as I've taken it back out there, I've dug a trench this wide, it needs to be a nice, kind of smooth looking waterway around. But I think that's their idea on how to handle the water flow, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, the proposal of this pond would be, they could go all the way out to the road to our ditch, but that would take pipe, a lot of pipe, and if they said that would be extremely expensive. So that's why they proposed a little pond right
So
there.
just going over to the roadway is not an option, taking it out to the roadway?
The ditch out to the roadway?
Well,
You're
you
taking-
your pipe it out there. you
Now,
know.
the pipe-
Like to the south road, is that what you're talking? Or what,
I'm talking about our road.
Yeah.
they think if there's too much water flow, it'll tear up the road in time.
Come back. And that's just more pipe, that's the expensive part, is adding that much more pipe to get out there.
Not anymore so than digging the ditch.
Kimberly Horner, I don't think likes this idea very much, but
And that's why, they sent it back to their engineers. They're going to send me a different proposal or whatever, and I'll send that on. Now on this baseball one, look over here at this baseball side. The north side there, they will have to pipe that down to about where the road is, but they don't want to go to that road because they don't want to tear up the road in the future. So they will also do another little ditch to Skyline into that waterway, that direction. And then, this is tiny.
I know.
And then you have pipe extensions out on the south side, on the west side, on the east side. So that is all, there's actually more, it looks to me like more pipe extended out on baseball than there is on softball.
It's not as much curvature.
Yeah. And you if you get your magnifying glass, you'll be able to see which way that water flows. Because there are arrows in there. And I can email it. It is easier to see which way it's flowing. So, this is just the proposal they sent. Once I get the next one, once I get the other one or another one, I'll send it out. So you guys can take a look at it.
On the softball side, maybe I don't know much of what I'm looking at, so please clarify. The clean out ditch, we're bringing it all the way around. Why can't we just take that to the road here?
They don't, because they say over time, you're gonna tear up the road. So actually it's flowing this way.
Okay.
It's flowing around to here. There's like this is the walking trail, there's a little waterway
Yeah.
right here. So it's gonna flow around
Okay.
in this picture.
And it's cheaper to put a pond here than to continue the,
Because you have to go all the way up here, there's really no way.
okay.
Because, I don't know if you've ever been on that walking trail, but between the walking trail and those trees, you can barely get a
Yeah,
mower
it's high.
through there. And they proposed the pond, because the linear feet of pipe would be pretty expensive.
Are we stocking this pond?
We can,
Sure.
Cold Barren Fish Hatchery.
But, when I asked him about, when we talked about the pond, I'm like, let's talk about this. If they're not just going to go out there and dig a big hole and just go, okay, here's your pond. They said they would clean it up where it looks nice, put a little berm around it.
Bury some cedar trees.
I'll donate all the cedar trees.
There you go. There you go.
So, but that's just an option. They were just trying to get us some different ideas.
Right down here on Skyline, there's plenty, just take them out.
Would a pond change any insurance, anything for
We
us?
were talking about that, and I don't think it would, because it'd just be just like Hatfield Park. They got a pond up there. We are, and we had already talked about this, but we're gating. We're definitely gating that south side. There'll be a gate across there that'll lock, which we've never had before. But that'll also deter kids from going out there and playing around in it. But I don't think it will. Kelly and I didn't think it would, just because it'd kind of be the same as Hatfield Park. But we really have to.
So we'll see what Kimmy Horn comes back with on when he
Well,
first saw
it's
this.
Sprint Turf.
Yeah, but Kimmy Horn's in review, I think.
Sprint Turf has to send us their other proposal.
Right. But
Oh.
Kimmy Horn's the one I want to see. Because Kimmy Horn didn't like this very much. That's the impression I got from other folks. They just weren't real impressed with this plan.
They wanted one pipe to go out for all 4 fields.
Yeah.
My concern about that is, if you look, this water doesn't all flow the same direction. So we're gonna have to get to that one pipe.
Well, and by the time you get all the pipes in one field, it's gonna be a big pipe, and you don't have that much elevation drop.
Exactly. Well, and they talked about an 18-inch pipe. Well, if you look at some of these elevations, it's gonna be out of the ground.
Yeah, as I say, you don't have 18 inches to deal with
Yes.
between the
Exactly.
baseball field and the road.
Yes.
We'll see what they come back with and have something better for you next week. This is
Here's the thing, is this will probably actually, won't be next meeting. We'll have to have a special meeting, because this will be something that holds us up, is the drainage. Because subcontractors out there, they've got fly arcs all measured out. They rolled a couple of fields today. They're going to be completely done with the softball side and just waiting on drainage pipe and where it's going by Friday. So then Friday next week, they're going to head over to baseball, start cutting out the arcs, start getting all the other dirt out, flattening, rolling, getting everything rolling. So they're moving pretty good, but this drainage, he can't go any further until we know about this drainage. So that's where we're at. Any questions?
Yes, my question is, why can't they go any further? I mean, the drainage is the drainage, you got to drain the field.
they got to bury that drainage stuff under the turf.
I'm a little aware of that, but you're taking the drainage out, they've got it already out. Why don't
Kinley Horn was asking the size of the pipe.
Why don't
That's why we have to go back, because they were wanting to question the 18-inch, so now we have to go back and say, here's why we don't want the 18. that's why they were asking. I see what you're saying. If we know that, hey, we gotta get to at least this point,
Right.
But-
And deal with it from that point.
but the questions that Kimley Horn asked them, they had to get the answers for them.
They're engineers, I'm not,
So that's why.
I'm just a hillbilly that get on the back of them.
It's just another holdup is what it is. So. Because I thought the same thing. But if they decide to take it all, then it could be different. Take it one pipe, which then we're going to have to worry about mowing over that pipe and around that pipe, because it's not going to, it'll be sitting on top of the ground.
I can see what we get that to do.
So.
So they anticipated, Nick, by
He thought by Monday.
Monday,
Yeah.
we have something.
And I will keep on.
Yeah.
If we find some out when he does the meeting, those should be together next week.
Yeah.
So. Everybody goes special meetings.
They still have, they'll move over to baseball. They still will have the backstop pipe, but they still will have to cut out and do that too. But, so they got some more work to do, but I just don't want to put this off too long.
Remarks and inquiries by board members.
Got a question for Courtney. I was out there with Matt Bixler last night, and colleagues had poured concrete in the bullpen. So what's that?
They just said I don't really know.
But they didn't okay it before they did it.
No. I looked out there and I thought it was maybe Matt's crew, and I called. I was like, what are you doing? Because I was thinking they were working on something they thought they were supposed to, and it was actually Northwestern. So I called Tim, and he's like, yeah, they were just doing some work in their bullpens. And I didn't realize they had poured concrete until I walked out there today.
So I'm looking at our agreement with them. Aren't they supposed to improve everything? Which the rec board before they do anything?
They're supposed to. Yes.
So I guess they need to explain that to us, why they're abusing their privileges.
We'll bring it up next time. Bring that up, bring Northwestern guys up here as well.
And
It's in black and white. All improvements proposed by Northwestern shall be subject to the approval.
And it does shock me that they didn't, because there's been smaller things that they've called me about, it's the hey, do you mind or whatever. But, so it kind of shocked me that I didn't know anything about it.
Is he the new guy that took over for Doug?
Huh?
Is this the new guy that took over for Doug? Maintenance guy? I didn't know.
No, I called Lauderdale, because Lauderdale does a lot. He's like kind of over the softball, so he's kind of my go-to on the softball side of it.
I should have made that turnover there, they had the maintenance department.
I think it was Derek Thomas, if I'm thinking that's who I saw out there. I know that they took down some fence when they were putting in, Derek Thomas helped them take down some fence when they were putting in roof foul poles or.
They moved the fence back a little bit maybe, or they moved it up or back, I think, the outfield
They did
fence.
move it, that's right, they did. I forgot about that.
They've already moved it.
Forgot about
They
that.
moved it
Not
back.
very far,
Moved it back a little bit.
about 5 or 10 feet
I don't-
maybe.
yeah,
It wasn't
something
very
like
far.
that, I don't remember.
So now with
Forgot
concrete,
about that.
with concrete there, if you ever want to move it back for any reason, I mean,
They
say
can't now.
they build their own facilities sometime, we want that filled deeper. We got concrete out there.
What was the purpose of the concrete?
I don't know.
Was it in the
It is-
pitcher's mound or?
Concrete.
It's in the
It's in the
bullpen.
bullpens, they did it on both of them, the visitors and the home side.
I'm
It's
assuming it's
10 by-
right on the
it's a-
pitcher's side, but it's
It's a 20 by 30
just
pad,
In the
in
bullpen?
the bullpen.
concrete pad,
Really, 20 by 30?
20 by 30, two of them.
The pad out in the outfield or the one in the
In the
bullpen?
Bullpen,
Yeah.
there's one in each bullpen, yeah.
Well, the one in the home was 20 by 30, I didn't step off the one in
I bet you
the visitor,
they're
but I'm
both the
assuming
same.
it's the same, but I don't know that for a fact.
And I don't know what they're gonna put over, they're gonna have to put something over that, those pictures.
Would our kids have access to that to be able, let's say, take the kids out to go work on pitching and it's muddy out there? Do our kids have access to
I would
that?
say
Does
they
it
would.
benefit us in any capacity?
Well, since we're getting turf, it's not gonna probably be as beneficial.
Okay.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
but-
Because,
Yeah, if you go to using the field, we have full rights to access the field.
Well, my only problem is that it's in black and white, they're supposed to run it by
Yep.
Courtney at least, at the very least, and they didn't do it.
Any other remarks from inquirers?